What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of, I guess, Road to World Games. Who knows where we're headed with this damn thing. But anyways, we just finished a washout, so we're gonna talk a little bit about the training and some other stuff I wanna touch on today as well. So to go through the training, it was an interesting washout. The first week of it started with comp lifts on day one. That was where I hit that bench PR, and then went into more washout style movements. This week was mostly non-specific work. So those of you who follow the channel for a while know that there are essentially two different styles of washout or pivot or deload, whatever you want to call it, that I do between big training blocks. One of them is a lot more comp specific, higher reps, higher intensity, but a lot less overall work. The other is a lot less specific, a lot sort of more moderate intensity, and the workload stays relatively high. So it's the second type of washout, pivot, whatever, that I completed this week. So we started out with some high bar squats, and I thought that I would be able to get up to like 205, 215, maybe even 220. Can't remember exactly what I had laid out, but I ended up with 195 for 10, and that was enough. I was gassed that day. So did that, did my tempo work, 530 tempo work, and then did the same thing with feet up bench. What else did I do? There was some ab roller in there, some vertical pull work, a lot of overhead pressing on those two there on a couple of the days. So it was a lot of really interesting sort of non-specific movement, a lot of things that I'm not used to, not especially good at. The first day I did ab rollers, I probably could have done 30, which I was super proud of and thought that I was awesome for. The second day I came in, I was still sore from the previous week, and I think I barely made 20. I was doing a lot of grunting and a lot of groaning. Overhead seems to feel really, really good on my shoulder, so I'm happy about that. It seems to be one of those things where I can really push it, and I walk away with my shoulder feeling better than before the session. Did some AMRAPs on feet up bench. I was really happy. I hit a 140, I believe, for 9, which put me at like a 186 estimated max on my feet up bench. Now, provided that I just hit 185 on my comp bench, and that was a PR, I'm pretty happy to see my feet up bench chugging along as well as it is. Conventional deadlifts were also in there. Now, those are still something that I think if I wanted to progress those, I still have a relatively low starting point before the pain begins. And as with most things, if I wanted to try to make a run at making my conventional like a viable movement again, I'd probably need to come up with sort of a good callousing, graded exposure type progression. Start with, I don't even know what I got up to, maybe 170 for 10. So really not that good, not that, well, I mean, the weight is not a problem, so I hesitate to say I'm not that strong in that pattern, but it does start to hurt at a pretty low weight. So not sure we'll see conventional cropping up in the train. I'm not sure that it's worth that time invested to get good at conventional again when I can just do sumo variations and not have any pain. So beyond that, I did want to talk a little bit about sort of a mental deloading strategy that I like to use. One of the things that I like to try to incorporate into my deload times is a bit of a sort of mental lessening of the pressure and the focus and the intent that you're putting into training. So giving yourself a little bit of a break in terms of the priority of your training sessions in your life, trying to, take that mental and emotional energy and put it elsewhere, and maybe do a little bit of extra work or take a little bit of extra downtime, take your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife out for dinner, do some extra things like that, and try to put all that energy that you're saving in your training somewhere else, somewhere worthwhile, so that you can, I guess, be a bit more of a balanced person. Hey, that's my PSA minute. In terms of the album recommendation, I'm definitely gonna recommend that everybody go check out the album No Sleep by Volumes. I think it's pretty old. I wanna say it's like late 2000s, early 2010s, somewhere in there. But it's a really fantastic album. Pretty sort of formative, genty, hardcore rock or metalcore kind of stuff. Really, really good job in terms of the groove. Volumes is obviously still kicking these days. I think they got a new singer, a new vocalist, but some of their older stuff is really, really good and stands up really well. So I definitely recommend go check that out. I'm gonna give it a solid 4.5 streaming Bryce heads out of 5. So very high rating. Could be just that I'm really, really enjoying it in the moment. Some of the songs came on the other day on a playlist that I put together, and it just was the perfect song for that part of training. So yeah, check that out. A couple little things I wanted to mention before we sign off for the day. Number one, we're opening another learning lifting class. So if you're a novice or intermediate powerlifter in the Calgary or Calgary area, and you're interested in getting some programming and some coaching from professional coaches in a small group setting, go ahead and head over to calgarybarbell.com and click on the coaching shop. You can check out details in there. We have an AM and a PM class. It runs twice weekly. It's a very affordable way to kind of get into powerlifting, get your technique checked, and get some good programming as well. Another thing I wanted to mention today is that we are going to be hosting a powerlifting meet here at the Strength Edge. The second annual Calgary Barbell Open is going to be happening. We've got some cool sponsors. We got Misfit Powerlifting, Obsidian Ammonia So Far, and we got a few others that we're in talks with, so it should be good. We're gonna have some really good Best Lifter awards. If you're a novice lifter, it's a great first meet. If you're an intermediate or advanced lifter, it'd be a great tune-up meet. Head over to powerliftingab.com to find the sign-up sheet for that and check it out. If you're not competing, come on by. September 22nd, we'll be here all day, and come get a taste of powerlifting, or let me know if you want to spot and load or volunteer to help out in any way. Other than that, that's probably about it for today, so thank you guys for tuning in. We're working on some sports psychology videos to try to bring that topic back a little bit, and we got some interesting stuff I think we're going to say there. So keep your eyes peeled, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we will see you all in the next video.